which is an organization that is trying to turn science into a sport. I was disappointed that it's not more like BattleBots. I don't know if you remember that show. It's not BattleBots. The robots don't destroy each other, but they are given these challenges at the beginning of January. And then these high school teams have 6 weeks to build a robot to solve these challenges. And they have tournaments that are really impressive. And I don't know, it's just a great time. It's a great way to give back to the community. So that's just a fun thing that we do. And I hope to keep doing it from the assembly as well, although I'm not sure how I'm going to have time for all the things that I do, but I'll figure it out. And then the Milwaukee Robotics Coalition is a nonprofit that we're trying to help provide support for schools and local teams to make sure that they have the resources they need in order to succeed in their competitions. So that's resources for mentors and also resources for the kids. So that's a goal that we have. It's a fairly new nonprofit, so we're still kind of building and trying to develop some systems to make it very self-sustainable.
I was looking through your Facebook page for your campaign earlier today, and you had a really great post about why people should focus on state and local elections, even though there's so much crazy stuff happening at the federal level right now. So I was wondering if you could sort of just give us a primer on why you think it's important for people to be focusing in on smaller state and local elections right now.
Those of us who are running for the assembly, and in Wisconsin, there are a lot of us right now running to unseat some Republicans. We are the candidates who can realistically knock on every door. We can make that one-on-one personal connection with voters and say, hey, I'm a good person. I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to make sure to fight for you at the state level. And so we can make that, conversation happen. But every voter that I turn out, every person that I get to say, yeah, I'm going to show up and vote on election day, is likely to be a person that's also going to vote for example, the state Senate candidate in my district, Julie Hensey. And they're also a person that's going to vote for the congressperson running in the 5th congressional district here in Wisconsin, Tom Palsowitz, who is running to unseat I think it's at least 26-year incumbent Republican who, while he used to be good and he used to be fairly moderate, he has, as far as I have heard, he has not stood up to the current administration, and he has not done anything to be a check on what's going on a federal level. Those of us at the kind of local level, we are the ones who are really working to drive turnout. We are the ones who can take the time to convince people who are maybe on the fence of which way they're going to vote for the Democrat. Giving to a local candidate also, that your money is going directly to direct voter contact. So any money that I get is pretty much, it's all going to literature so that I can hand people my information at the doors and say, vote for me. Or it's going to go to mail pieces that I'll send out, again, telling people, vote for me, vote for Julie, vote for Tom Palsowitz. We are running on a much tighter budget than a more national candidate, than a Senate candidate. You know that your money is going to be used the best way possible to reach voters. So that's my little pitch. It's also, it's easier for a U.S. senator to raise money. I love Tammy Baldwin. Don't get me wrong. I love her. I've given to her. I'll probably give to her again this cycle. I love her pint glasses that I finally was able to buy this year at the State Party convention. Yeah, I love her. But she can get big dollar donors. She can get big donations. I'm limited to $1,000 per individual. That's all I can ask for. No matter how, it doesn't matter if somebody wants to give me $1 million, they can't. So I need a lot of people to give me something, just something. All of my fellow assembly candidates are in the same boat. And because there are a lot of us, frankly, the donor base here in Wisconsin is starting to get tapped out. We have to reach to outside the normal people, the people who normally give. We just have to.
I was on your website earlier and I was like, I would give her money if she had t-shirts with cheese on them.
Oh my gosh.
Something to think about.
I actually want to see if I can get some of the foam cheese hats figure out a way to put my logo on those and at least get a couple that I could have volunteers wear as they go knock on doors. Because why not? I was also thinking about throwing, at parades and stuff, getting a bunch of string cheese in the little plastic wrap and throwing cheese, string cheese. But given the weather, I thought maybe that was a terrible idea. For anybody who doesn't live in Wisconsin, we actually do eat that much cheese. We really do. I love it. My cheese drawer at my home is absolutely full. It's actually overfull of cheese. It's a major staple of my diet, which I don't know if that makes me a cannibal or not. It's something I think about late at night.
All right. Well, we don't want to keep you too long, but is there anything else that you want to make sure that our listeners know about you?
I'm committed to helping the people of Wisconsin, and the people of Wisconsin need your help. I know a lot of there are a lot of candidates out here that are asking you for money. I'm asking if you can even chip in $10 a month, make a recurring donation through my Act Blue, that would mean the world for me. The one thing I haven't talked about is I actually have an illness, a chronic illness that is one of the biggest challenges I face as a candidate. And any little bit that your listeners could give to make it just a tiny bit easier to run for office and make change for Wisconsin, I would deeply appreciate. You can check out my Twitter and my Facebook at Wisconsin Likes Cheese. And for those two, it's WI Likes Cheese. My website is Wisconsin spelled out likescheese.com. And I believe I should have links to my Act Blue through that. So that's about it.
I know some recent high school graduates in your area that I'm going to go tell them they need to come volunteer for you. So we'll try to send some people your way.
I appreciate that so much.
All right. Well, thank you. This has been really fun. And if you get cheese heads made, my kids desperately want a cheese head. So
okay, I will put that high on the list of things. I have somebody who's already saying that she was going to get me in touch with a foam cheese hat manufacturer. So I'll maybe push her on that. Get some cheese earrings. I mean, there's no end to the things we can do with this. My name is ridiculous, and I'll just own that.
All right. I love it. We'll put links to your social media and your website up on our website. So thank you so much, Lillian.
Right. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Katie Nelson, and I'm Olivia Mickle. We're two academic sisters, and we host a podcast called What's Her Name? What's Her Name podcast tells you the stories of fascinating women that you've never heard of. We're unearthing the histories of really interesting women that have slipped through the cracks of our collective history. We add era-appropriate music. We interview really fascinating experts, everyone from professors to authors to the manager of a brothel museum. We cover it all. So give it a listen. What's Her Name podcast.com.
I am here with Erin Tracy, who is running for Wisconsin State Assembly in the 40th District. Hi, Erin.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too. So can you tell me just a little bit about your background and why you've decided to run for State Assembly?
Well, I am a stay-at-home mom, but I'm really active in the community. I'm a board member of the Wapaka Community Arts Board, and I'm co-chair of the Wapaka County Democratic Party. And I live in Waiwega, in rural Waiwega, with my husband, son, dog, and 5 chickens, and saw an opportunity to make some meaningful change, and I thought I'd step up and try to be the change you want to see in the world.
Excellent. And can you tell us a little bit about the 40th Assembly District? So for people who don't know Wisconsin very well, where in Wisconsin is this, and what's kind of the makeup of the region?
Well, it's most of Wapaka County. There are a couple places around Clintonville and New London where the city has mostly been gerrymandered out, but then there's this island that's in the 40th District, so those areas are a little bit complicated, but other than that, it's mostly Wapaka County and then a section of Washira County. For the state, it's kind of between Stevens Point and Appleton in the Fox Valley area.
Okay, and you said the city has been partly gerrymandered out. Are most of the residents of this district then, is it more rural?
Yeah, there are more rural voters that are included in my district. So, for example, in Clintonville, they've kind of cut the city out, but then there's an island in the middle that is still part of the 40th, but it's mostly the rural areas outside of Clintonville.
Wisconsin gerrymandering, notoriously bad.
Yeah.
And so you're running against a Republican incumbent who has been in the office, it looks like, since 2007. So what is your sense as you're talking to people? Do you think that this is a district that can flip? Are people voting Republican because they haven't been thinking about it? Are there particular issues that they're worried about?
Well, I think that the voters here have been voting Republican for a long time. But it seems to me that when I'm walking around and canvassing or going to events, people are really excited to see somebody different running. The incumbent doesn't really have listening sessions or in-district office hours, and that is definitely something I would change if I were to be elected. I think it's really important that we don't centralize power in Madison. I think you need to be in touch with the needs of your community if you're going to represent them. That's why I would hold regular office hours in the district.
Do you think, since you have a lot of rural voters in the district, are the kinds of issues that they're concerned with, are they worried about things like tariffs possibly hurting farming? Are you hearing about other sorts of issues that are really concerning them?
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot about the tariffs, but I'm also hearing a lot about the opioid crisis and about, the Trump Care trying to repeal the Affordable Care Act and knock a bunch of people off their insurance. They aren't very happy with that idea. I think a lot of people, it was kind of a wake-up call for them. Yeah, I think that's something that people are really concerned because the foundation of rural economies are small business and agriculture. So these tariffs are really going to hurt these rural areas that have already been struggling for a while now.
So I know you have a young son, and we can hear him in the background occasionally as you're talking. Can you talk a little bit about how having a young child is sort of informing your views on issues and the kind of representative that you want to be?
Well, I think if the legislature starts to look more like the general population of Wisconsin, they may do a better job of representing the community. I'm very in touch with the struggles right now in education and in the area that I'm in. The Waiwiga Fremont School, where my son is going to be going to school in September, just announced that they have an $800,000 budget shortfall. And I don't want to see them have to consolidate schools or cut more programs or staff. That's not good for the community. It's not good for my son. So as a parent, I'm ready to put some weights into the school funding formula so that some of these rural schools that are facing declining enrollment will have the support that they need and they won't have to consolidate, because there's a little elementary school in Fremont, and that is so important to the community, and nobody wants to see that close. We want that to stay open.
Is education something that has been an issue statewide in Wisconsin?
Absolutely. Yeah, the Act 10 and then paired with the budget cuts to education was absolutely devastating for our education system.
As you've been going around and talking to people, has the upcoming gubernatorial election also been something that people have been talking about at all?
Yeah, a lot of people have support in many different camps. And as chair of the county party, I have to remain neutral. But yeah, people are really excited, and I think they're excited to vote for their chosen candidate in August. But I do get the sense that people are ready to unite behind whoever is victorious in August and work together to get a new governor.
Do you think that having a contentious governor race and having a Senate race is going to help drive turnout this fall? Do you think that that's going to make a difference in down-ballot elections?
Well, anything I would say about that would be speculation. I don't know what to expect. But here in Wapaka County, we've had these events where we invite a gubernatorial candidate, and they come and we have a fish fry together because it's Wisconsin, and they just talk about what sets them apart. And I really enjoyed that, because sometimes with these forums, they only get a couple of minutes to talk and they largely say very similar things. So it's nice to see the differences. And I've seen within the county party that's really seemed to energize people. So I wonder if there might be a link there that people will be energized to get out